All right, for this time on Around the Corner, it's Friday, and we went to the Clinton house in Fayetteville, right?
Got to see a little piece of history. It's really cool.
Really neat. Again, not many families lived in this house from start to finish before they closed it down, so it was really neat to kind of learn about what had been going on there.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job of explaining it. After you see it, you'll want to check it out. Let's take a look.
This week on Around the Corner, we're on the Hill.
Yeah, Zach, being from Arkansas, we've talked about it. Anytime we go out of state, out of the country, and we say we're from Arkansas, people say, oh, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, throws us off every time, but not every state gets to say we had a former president.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Born in Hope, Arkansas, then went to Hot Springs, then ended up here in Fayetteville while professor at the U of A.
Yeah, he lived here. This is his house. Now it's a museum.
Check it out. So when you walk into the Clinton house, the first room that you'll walk into is the living room, a pivotal part of the Clinton story.
Yeah, okay, so let's backtrack on that. They're young, they're in love. Bill proposes twice. She says no twice.
Oh, Hillary, poor guy. Well, they actually were both working at the U of A at the law school at the time in Fayetteville.
Okay, so one day they're driving by, he's taking her to the airport, and she says, I love that house. While she's gone, he buys the house for her. When she gets back, he says, hey, I bought the house. You gotta marry me now. I'm not living in that thing alone.
Okay, so spoiler alert, she says yes, they got married, but you might not have known it was right here where we're standing in their living room.
Is this a dress?
Okay, so this is actually a replica of her dress. Hillary was gonna rewear something from her closet. The day before, her mom said, no, you're getting a wedding dress. They went to Dillard's, $53 off the rack.
Are you getting your dress the day before your wedding?
You know, the $53 part sounds nice, but as for the other, very stressful. I've had it for months. And what would typically be a dining room for most newly married couples was what the Clintons called a war room. They sat right here at this table and went to work on political campaigns.
Together, they won their first successful campaign, igniting their political careers. He becomes Attorney General. They move to Little Rock, and from there, the rest is history.
Obviously, the Clintons working around the clock, probably 24/7, probably didn't have time to cook, but I bet they at least had coffee.
Yeah, and when they did it in this cozy little breakfast nook.
It's nice.
Do you think Bill always sat on this side?
I don't know, but cheers. So we're wrapping up our time here at the Clinton house. Only showed you a few rooms, but pretty neat to see one of our president's history.
Oh, absolutely. We can't just leave. Before we go, there's something we got to do.
So you have to come over here. You have to check out the little guest center that they have. You sign the book, do it, Zach. I'll get a push pin for us. And then you just stick it where you're from. Stick it right there in Arkansas. And then from there, you can see people from all over the U.S. have come out to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. And even going from there, literally all four corners of the earth, people have visited the Clinton house. You should too. That's going to do it for us here on this week's Around the Corner. We'll see you next week.
So does it look a lot like whenever they lived there?
It really does. Not a lot has changed.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of original like floors and things like that.
Yeah.
I think a few things they had to redo to look like it did from pictures, but other than that,
yeah, like the
most things
wallpaper
were the
in the little breakfast nook area.
They had to redo that.
He had a honey-do list one day to put up some wallpaper. It did not come out well, so Hillary told him take it down. And from the photos that they have of what it did look like, they tried to go back and match it as best they could. But outside of that, not much has been done. And you only talk about at most 5 or 6 families have lived in that house
and
its
they're
entire
all prominent people within the community.
Before and after them, they've all done something.
Yeah.
Nobody was just an average
cool.
Joe, so to say. Which if you were, you're like, as they're going through, because you can go through the booklet and look at everybody that's lived there, and it lists out everything, like she was saying, that they've done in the community. And
like,
if you just had, if it was like, and just the Scotts lived there for 5 years.
Yeah, it's like,
they just lived there. Yeah, you're like, oh, but we made it.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It was really neat. Yeah, definitely worth the visit for sure.
And it was fun just hearing the stories about them, like getting married in the living room and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't know those things.
You look at the young pictures of them, and yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have some place you think that we should visit, you need to text it to us, 479-785-5000. We might take Around the Corner there.